Hello comrades and welcome to Interwar Mod update. This is a pretty awesome update. It'll be, I think, Connor's just said among some of the last for a while, meaning that we are getting much closer to release. There's a lot to show, as you can see. Let's get started right at the front here. Starting with the Riffians, or Riffians, however you pronounce that. So they're they're back into the mod now, or the Riff War, or whatever. Got some bowmen, Germanized riflemen. Very cool. Just the standard soldiers, I think. Good mix, kind of Moroccan or Arab nationalists. Here we have the Cheka, and they're part of the Socialist Federation of Russia faction, the RSFR, I think. Oh, and flag bearers. That's now part of the mod. The flags have always been in the mod, but these flag bearers specifically is new. I think they'll be part of the... Oh crap. I was told what they'd be part of for the multiplayer. I think it's like one of the really massive units. Cool to see it though. I'm not sure what Cheka is. C-H-E-K-A. But they look kind of cool. All black. Here we have the Allied forces for White Russia. I think this is the Canadian Expeditionary Force, CEF. And these guys, the Canadians, you know, they were very survivalist kind of soldiers. Whenever they won a battle, they immediately went about, you know, robbing the dead of their boots and coats. You know, so much so that the American soldiers were really shocked by it. You know, there's this one U.S. officer that described watching the Canadians, you know, ripping off boots off of a dead soldier that was still alive. Or not a dead soldier, but a soldier that was wounded and, like, slowly dying. The way he talked about it, he was just so shocked. I guess because the Americans, they hadn't had much experience with battlefield robbery before, so. Here we have the Czech Legion. Very cool. With the Japanese Expeditionary Forces. We got the Italians. Very interesting that they're wearing the turban. And then we got the Doughboys, the Americans. The Latvians, they're not part of the Allied intervention, they're part of the, they're just a separate faction now. Or not faction, but tab. I believe they will get their own set in multiplayer. Very cool looking unit, I like it personally. Soldiers look really nice. Here we have the Lithuanians. Little triangle there. Really nice. We got the Stormovai here. Got the White Russia Marines. Got the flag here, very nice. I think this is the old Imperial Naval flag. Can't be certain though. We have the White Russia Guards. Very cool. And now for, I think, Spain. These guys are, these two are Moroccan soldiers. These two are, I think, Riffian guides. They're marked as Traggers, T-R-A-G-G-E-R. I don't know if there's a bigger addition to the Spanish Kingdom of Spain faction, but these guys I noticed looked kind of new, as well as the flag bearer. Here for the nation of France, we have the Senegalese. That blue coat with the red cap. Can't remember who these guys are. I think they're like the Sefis or something. It's like S-P-A or S-P-H-A or something. Very cool. French rifleman, French officer, or squad lead. Some more, got the Alpine men here. I don't know who these guys are. I can't remember. We got the Alpine rifleman. Very cool, the Brett. And I checked back to the last few videos, and I didn't see myself mentioning these guys, so if I did and I just missed it, apologies. But yeah, here we have the armored cav crew. We got cav riflemen, the black and the red cap here. With the engineers, tries the engineer would have a flamethrower, but all right. Die. You guys all know these guys here, the French Foreign Legion. That iconic cap of theirs. Looks like a pot or something on their head. Just a standard French rifleman, kind of different variations. Here we have something new. It is the Blair Mountain. I'm not sure if that's tied to a specific event of some kind, an uprising or something in the U.S. U.S. history, they didn't really go over a whole lot. Like, it was very weird the way they taught it to me, at least. You know, we started like in the 60s or whatever, talked about the Vietnam War, and then for some reason we jumped back to 1918, and then we jumped to like the American Revolution, and then we went back to like the 90s and the Cold War, and that was kind of it. So this would be interesting if you guys can fill me in on these guys. Very interesting faction. And we have something new, or not exactly new, but changed up. It's the Arab Nationalists. I can't remember who they replace. I think Colonel Rooster told me, or what their original name is, but these guys are new, the little headbands. This guy's pretty intimidating looking, that mask. Real creepy. These guys you've seen before, I think. I'm certain of it. Last but not least, we got the State Troopers. Cool. The squad lead here, with the big sheriff's badge. The sergeant here. Really cool. And that there is it for the new things added. As I said again, Colonel Horse told me that this would be among the last few updates before the official release of the mod. So we're getting close, guys. Your patience is being paid off. I thank you all greatly for that. And now we have to switch to a more serious topic. As you all know, the Indonesian guy that steals content passes himself off as a mod creator when he knows nothing about modding. He's back at it. He's created 2 new accounts. One of them is in Chinese, and he's pretending to be Japanese for both of them. The other one is hit harder, hit faster, hit stronger. He's, you know, he's been really irritating. So I will start with last night. You know, he asked about making a Japanese skin or getting a Rob Z's skin for Japan faction or something, and he said he wants to make it for his alternate era mod, and he doesn't know anything about modding. His excuse as to why he doesn't give credit is because of viruses, which didn't make any sense. To give credit isn't anything fancy. You don't have to link the mod, you don't have to link anything. I mean, it's nice if you do, but to give credit basically means, you know, you put, you know, I credit, you know, mod author of, you know, Interwar, Colonel Rooster for, you know, so-and-so assets that I'm using. You know, you list it like that. You don't have to, you know, link the mod. You don't have to put any special links of any kind. You know, so that whole virus excuse is bullshit. Yeah, so as I've said, you know, he's pretending to be Japanese. Honestly, it's getting kind of annoying now. The other thing that he's doing that's really annoying is that he's claiming that all these skins are not only inaccurate and false, but also that they're from Rob Z's mod. Uh, he said, why is he using, Rob Z's skins, and why is he using their models? And that's not accurate. That's really starting to get annoying. Uh, he's also gone about saying that, people of the Our World War mod, the Interwar, Spanish Civil War, even myself, he's, calling us, racist, saying that we hate Muslims, and that's just pure BS. I don't want to have to grace such stupidity with a response, but I have to. Uh, just because it honestly just needs to be out there. He constantly disrespects and acts rude, and then he's, begging, oh, I need a second chance, or oh, I'll be more honorable and nice, and that's just bullshit. Honestly, it is. So if you see this guy, or if you're getting someone who's saying, can you commission Japanese skins for me, uh, you know, just ignore it. Now there is a Texan guy, and he is looking for someone to model a Japanese tank. He's part of the Girls und Panzer mod, so uh, that might be a little suspicious, but he's okay. He's all good. So I think I directed him to Bill Nye, Rumik. So if you guys are getting a guys asking for a Japanese tank model, he's willing to pay and all that. So that guy's legit and fine. You don't need to block or ignore him. Uh, but other than that, this Indonesian guy, he's pretending to be Japanese. He has many false accounts. He'll go on about how, we're racist and how we hate Muslims. Again, it's just really silly to have to acknowledge this, but it just has to be said. Um, but yeah, I hope that's out in the open. This guy isn't going to be forgotten or ignored. His Steam name is actually somewhere on here, or one of his Steam names. Let's see, it is. I can't seem to find it right now. Oh, and other thing that wild accusation that he made. He said that he was part of the Rising Sun team. That mod that's about all the Pacific World War II kind of stuff. He said that he worked with that mod team, and I said, well, I'm gonna message the author of the mod team, and I'm gonna see how true that is. And he said, no, don't. That guy isn't real. He got kicked from the group, and that I shouldn't talk to him. That he's gonna message him first, and that's very suspicious. I mean, obviously with this Indonesian guy, everything is bullshit, but still. He's like, don't talk to this guy, don't talk to Colonel Autumn, don't say anything to him. And I said, why not? He's like, well, you're a Western interventionist who wants to demonize and destroy me. Uh, Understand, I'm not trying to demonize or villainize this guy. He's doing it himself. I'm simply calling him out on his bullshit. That's just plain and simple, guys. This has nothing to do with him being Muslim, Indonesian, or anything like that. This dude is just plain garbage and needs to be called out for it. Um, I also want to thank the Our World War Mod team. They were very thorough about dealing with this guy. They said, can you have Spanish Civil War team, or can you have Interwar, Colonel Rooster, any of those guys, message us and give us their hand of accounts. So I really thank them for and applaud them for their thoroughness. Not just taking the word of one guy and simply banning him, but wanting to be thorough, making sure they have the proof and info. So that's just very good. When someone's making accusations of stolen content, it's always good to be very thorough about that. So just big applause to you guys. I also love your mod. I can't wait for it to come for release. If you guys don't know what this mod is, I'll put a link to the ModDB page and to their Discord as well. It's a really cool mod. You should check it out. Let's see. Other than that, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed what you've seen, and I hope this helps you hype up for this awesome mod. I should be getting some more multiplayer matches with Colonel Rooster sometime soon. Wasteland folks, you guys are next. The video I'll be working on after this is going to be the official intro to the factions. As you all know, we've properly worked on map size, or at least I have an idea of how map size is going to work. I've issued each faction's population number, so that's another way to tell that everything is gearing up and getting ready. Vehicles and stuff are still being determined, but don't worry. Uh, I'll address more of that in Discord today. So yeah, I hope you guys like what you see and that you're hyped for Interwar. And just a big old, round of applause to Colonel Rooster and his amazing work, and to all that has helped him in this. Yeah, I really appreciate the hard work and the thorough effort that you put in with this great mod, and the level of detail and accuracy that you slave over to put in. It's appreciated, man. It really is.